right, Shalom. Before I get started, I want to give all glory, honor, and praise to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders at GMS. Peace, honor, and respect to you brothers that's out there laboring, edifying, rightly dividing the word in truth and sincerity. And shalom to you believers out there at the Akim Wa Akwath, all right? Which we all are, the hopeful elect at this time. And in this video, you see the evolution of weapons. Now, it could be certain things that give or take, could be missing or whatever, but you see the evolution, all right? It went all the way from basically arrowheads, all right, all the way to, you had bombs and then lasers and planes and things of that nature, grenades. And then at the end it said, what about the future? All right. Well, this lesson I want to get into is about the sword. All right. The sword. And let's go to it. Genesis 27. All right. I'm going to start at verse 38. And Esau said unto his father, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me, even me also. And, oh, my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. All right. And Esau is the so-called white man. All right. Who's in rulership right now. Who uses that sword all the time. And that sword ranges, as you can see. Verse 39. And Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. Again, this is why he's in rulership right now. But his blessing of rulership will only be temporal. Verse 40 in the point, and by thy sword shall thou live. All right. And by thy sword shall thou live. All right. And shall serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have dominion that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. All right. But the point of that verse was, and by thy sword shall thou live. And again, when you look at this video, the sword started from an actual sword all the way to an ICBM, to what we have now, missiles and bombs and guns and tanks, fighter jets. All right. Even pandemics, that's a part of the sword. All right. So one thing I wanted to bring to you brothers and sisters' attention is this. A little stat. Now this is of March 19, 2017. It says, this morning I discovered an interesting stat. America has been at war 93% of the time. All right. 222 years out of the 239 years since 1776. The U.S. has only been at peace for less than 20 years total since its birth. All right. So right here, I seen how many years has the U.S. not been at war. How many wars has let me see. So as according to December 16, 2021, it says since 1776, the U.S. has only been at peace for 17 years. So it dropped. All right. So it dropped. All right. But the point of it is, it's in the 90th percentile. And that's that sword. Now, another thing I wanted to bring to you brothers and sisters' attention is, because sometimes I go to Bible Hub, get the commentary. Now, this is the commentary on Genesis 27 and 40, when it says, and by thy sword shall thou live. All right. Now, when you go to the pulpit, let's go to the pulpit real quick. All right. Salaki, if you hear some noise going on outside, it's just niggas acting up. All right. The pulpit commentary, and you see verse 40, it says, and by thy sword shall thou live. It says, Literally, upon thy sword shall thou be. All right. Thy maintenance shall depend on thy sword. A prediction that Esau's descendants should be a warlike and tumultuous people of predatory habits. All right. See? So Esau's descendants, all right, will be what? A warlike and tumultuous people. And that's exactly what they are. All right. Now, when we go back up here to the Matthew pool, it's gonna kind of reiterate it, but in a different way. It's gonna say, "By thy sword shall thy live, by violence and rapine." Now let's look up that word. Let's look it up. It says, the violent seizure of someone's property. All right, this is Esau Edom, man. And that had me thinking about this scripture right here. No, I get it over here. That had me thinking about Micah, all right, the 2nd chapter. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage. And that's what Esau have done. He coveted the fields, he take them by the violence, he oppressed people, all right, and he even steal their heritage. Hence why the people in our land think they us, all right. They walking around here, in the land thinking they're us, man. All right. So this is the way Esau was set to live, and you see it's coming to fruition. All right. So it says, violence and rapine in an unquiet and military posture, troubling others and forced to defend thyself. And this is Esau. That's why he's been in war since his inception in the 90th percentile. But this also the following clause, though spoken to Esau, was not fulfilled in him, but in his posterity, the Edomites, right? So Esau really, he was a warlike dude, but he really wasn't the dude that, went around and was doing all of these things. No, it's his posterity. Let's look up the word posterity. All right, let's look it up. All future generations of people, so his kids after him, basically. His descendants, again, like it said in the pulpit commentary. All right, so it was not fulfilled in Esau per se himself, but in his posterity, the Edomites, all right, whose history makes good this prophecy, right? Because why? Because not America, okay? Because when you think about what's going on right now, who's America's biggest rival? Who could contend with them? Russia. And that's another country of the Edomites. You see what I'm saying? It's not like it's like Saudi Arabia or somebody. No, it's Russia. Some more Edomites. They both have the blessing of the sword. All right, so one thing I want to get into right here. All right. Esau with that sword, man. The Bible is so true, man. Call Halam La Yahweh Shem Yahushua for giving us the understanding. Now, when you go to 1 Maccabees, the 1st chapter, right, starting at verse 1, this is going into the Greeks, all right, Edomites, all right, going into that sword. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Kittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, that he reigned in his stead the first over Greece, and made many wars and won many strongholds and slew the kings of the earth. Why is that? Because the Edomite has the blessing of the sword. Didn't it say his posterity, his future generations? Well, Alexander the Great, he's one of those future generations of Esau. Verse 3, and went to the ends of the earth and took spoils of many generations, and so much that the earth was quiet before him. All right, meaning nobody could contend. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up, And he gathered a mighty strong host and ruled over countries and nations and kings and who became tributaries unto him, right? So he took the fields, he took it by the violence, all right? He oppressed people, I'm pretty sure. That go back to Micah 2 and 1 and 2, all right? That's that sword. Now this is going into the Greeks. Now what I want to do, staying in First Maccabees, I want to fast forward to the Roman Empire because the Romans took down the Greeks, all right? Now, check this out. First Maccabees 8, all right, and verse 1. Now Judas had heard of the Romans, that they were mighty and valiant men, and such as would lovingly accept all that joined themselves unto them, and make a league of amenity with all that came unto them. And who this sound like? The revised Roman Empire, aka America, aka Babylon the Great. All right, if you join into them, you good. All right, verse 2. And that they were men of great valor. It was told him also of their wars and noble acts which they had done among the Galatians, and how they had conquered them and brought them under tribute, and what they had done in the country of Spain for winning of the mines of silver and gold, which is there, right? See, so what does America do today? The same thing. They go, they covet the fields, they take the natural resources, they go in there and they see a natural resource they want it, they'll take it by violence. All right, just as they did in the past. All right, nothing new. Verse 4, and that by their policy and patience, they had conquered all the place. And what happens today? The Babylon, what do? Through their policy and patience, they had that patience because what? They are the serpent. They're more subtle than any beast of the field. See? So a snake, a serpent is very patient. He's not just gonna sprawl out there. No, he'll sit and wait before he attack. Okay? They had conquered all the place, though it were very far from them. And the kings also that came against them from the uttermost parts of the earth, till they had discomforted them and given them a great overthrow, so that the rest did give them tribute every year, right? So it said the place was very far. He needed to keep it back home, right? And Esau is doing the same thing now. He all over in the east, Middle East. He in the far east. He there, he everywhere. Verse 5, besides this, how they had discomforted in battle Philip and Perseus, king of the Kittims, with others that lifted up themselves against them and had overcome them. How also Antiochus, the great king of Asia, that came against them in battle, having 120 elephants with horsemen and chariots and a very great army, was discomforted by them. See? So no matter who, it was their time to rule. It's the Romans' time to rule. And what did they rule by? That sword, man. Verse 7, and how they took him alive and covenanted that he and such as reign after him should pay a great tribute and give hostage, and that which was agreed upon, and the country of India and Media and Lydia and all the goodliest countries which they took of him to and gave to King Eumenes. All right. Moreover, how the Grecians had determined to come and destroy them, and that they, having knowledge thereof, sent against them a certain captain, and fighting with them slew many of them, and carried away captive their wives and their children, and spoiled them, and took possessions of their land, and pulled down their strongholds, and brought them to be their servants unto this day. See? So it's nothing new under the sun, man. These Romans is going into the Edomites. Verse 11, it was told him besides how they destroyed and brought under their dominion all other kingdoms and isles that at any time resisted them. See, by that sword shall they live. But with their friends and such as relied upon them, they kept amenities. And that's what the new Rome 2.0 do, aka America, Babylon the Great. and that they had conquered kingdoms both far and nigh, far and near, insomuch as all that heard of their name were afraid of them. Also that whom they would help to a kingdom, those reign, and whom again they displaced, finally that they were greatly exalted, right? So that was going into the Romans, and by thy sword, the Romans live, the Greeks live, all right, and the Americas and EU, even Russia, all of them, that's how they live, man. All right, the Edomite period lived by that sword, all right. But see, the Lord, got something for these Edomites, man. All right, let's go here. All right, because when you live by the sword, you die by the sword. So when you go to Isaiah 14, starting at verse 4, it says, thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon and say, how have the oppressor ceased, the golden city ceased? The Lord have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. All right. And this is what the Lord is doing right now. All right. Verse 6, he who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. Right. So again, Esau yielded that sword, and he's going to get that sword. All right, let me get this and close out. All right, let's go to Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. All right, I'm going to start at verse 21. And it says, go up against the land of Marathaim. And when you look up, let's look that up. When you look up Marathaim,
Strong's H 4850. Marah.
Marah in the Greek. All right, it say double rebellion. All right, another name for Babylon. And what do you have in America? But on the planet Earth, period. Okay, you have double rebellion. But in America, you have that double rebellion, man. All right, rebellion against who? Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. So Jeremiah 50 and 21, go up against the land of Marathaim, even against it, and against the inhabitants of Pekod, waste and utterly destroy. Let's look up Pekod before I continue, because I think it was giving me something there last time I looked it up. Let me see, did I pass it? Oh, visitation, yep. Visitation, all right. So go up against the land of Marathaim, even against it, and against its inhabitants of Pekod. Waste and utterly destroy after them, saith the Lord, and do according to all that I have commanded thee. All right. A sound of battle is in the land, and of great destruction. How is the hammer of the whole earth cut asunder and broken? How has Babylon become a desolation among the nations? And this is, okay, what is going to ultimately happen to Babylon the Great. It's going to, the hammer, Esau Edom, that sword is going to be cut. All right, it's going to be broken. That scepter going to be broken. That staff going to be broken. All right. And then America is going to be a desolation among all nations. All right, that's eventually what's going to come. Now, when you go to verse 25, it says, the Lord have opened up his armor and have brought forth the weapons of his indignation. For this is the work of the Lord, power of hosts in the land of the Chaldeans, right? And the modern day Chaldean is Esau Edom. Because when you go back to the Chaldeans, they was like witches and warlocks. And through witchcraft on the left-hand side, okay, Esau have been able to do things as well. All right. Witchcraft can be considered a part of that sword as well. You know, how it can be used. Now let's go to verse 33. It says, thus said the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. See? And when you go into the children of Israel, that's representing the northern kingdom, and Judah representing the southern kingdom, because it was a split after King Solomon died. All right. But it says we were oppressed together, right? Us Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, in the land of Americas, we was oppressed together. All right. And all that took them captive held them fast. They refused to let them go. Okay. Their Redeemer is strong. The Lord of hosts is his name. He shall thoroughly plead their cause, that he may give rest to the land and disquiet the inhabitants of Babylon. A sword is upon the Chaldeans, said the Lord, and upon the inhabitants of Babylon, and upon her princes, and upon her wise men. So just like Esau was given that sword, guess what? The Lord got a sword for y'all. All right, that's how y'all gonna be taken out of power, from the sword. Verse 36, a sword is upon the liars, and they shall dote. A sword is upon her mighty men, and they shall be dismayed. A sword is upon their horses, and upon their chariots, and upon all the mingled people that are in the midst of her, and they shall become as women. A sword is upon her treasures, and they shall be robbed. Right, and again, this is what's going to happen. All right, just like he used that sword, guess what? That sword is going to be used on them. So, Lord willing, this was edifying. To the next lesson. Shalom.